In this episode of Derp, I made an asteroid belt biome so the asteroids spawn in orderly lines instead of scattered about. I made a custom class so it'll be easy to add new biomes in the future. First, I'll make a new script in the utils folder called RNG, and I'll add a random number generator variable. Then when the class is initialized, it'll randomize the global and the local variable. And I'll add a function for randi_range using the RNG. And I'll make one for rand_f as well, so rand_float. And this will just simplify calling the random functions from elsewhere in the project. Of course, I could do rng.rng.randf, but this is just a lot easier. Then I'll add one for array rand, and I'll pass in an array, set the index to between 0 and the size -1. So this will be 0 to array.size -1. And then I'll return the array at the index value. So now I will add this to the auto-load singletons. RNG, give it the global identifier, and then I'll put this at the very top so that the randomize runs first. And then in main, I can completely remove the initialize function from the start. Now I'll make the Biome class. So make a new script extending resource. And I'll declare the class name. Make a new variable for the bumper list and assign it to an empty array. And then I'll make another variable for current bumper. Then I'll add the reset bumper function, which sets the current bumper to use the rng.arrayrand function that I just made, and then get a random element from the bumper list and make a new instance. And then I'll run current bumper.build. And then I'll add the isValid location, which takes an x and y. And this will just return true by default. So now I'll make a new script for the default biome in both our dimensions. So this extends biome. And then I'll add the onInitialize bumper list dot append, and then I'll load the colony and the shooting star and the stripes. So I'll load all three. Okay. And then I'll do the same for the Olympus dimension. So make a new script for the default biome, extending biome, and then on init, I'll just load the cloud. Like so. So now in the bumper spawner, I'll remove the bumper scenes export resource, and I'll make a new one for the biome config. And this will be an empty array. I'll make another variable for the biome list, which is also an array. And then on initialize, or ready, I don't think it'll work on init. So on ready, I'll make a new variable. Need to loop through the biome config. So for I in biome config, and then make a new biome equals I.new, and then I want to reset the bumper on the biome and then append it to the biome list. Then I'll add a function to get the biome from the coordinates. So for biome and biome list, if biome is valid position coords, then set the biome current bumper position equal to the coords and return the biome. This is actually is valid location. And then in the Biome class, I need to change this from X and Y to coords of type vector2. So then back in the bumper spawner, I can get rid of these first 3 lines, make a new variable to track success, and then while not success, generate the coordinates, and then get the biome. And then I'll set the bumper to biome.current bumper. And then we'll say if it is a valid spawn location, then success equals true. And get rid of that. Spawn the bumper, and then reset the bumper on the biome. So now in the main scene, I can select the bumper list and set the size to 1 for the biome config, set the type to an object, and set this to the default biome for derp space. And then in the Olympus dimension, I'll select the bumper list and do the same. So set biome config to size 1, set it to an object, and drag it in. And this should work. Okay, so we have the colonies and the shooting stars and the bumpers all spawning. So now I'll make a new resource for the Asteroid Belt biome, and this is extending the Biome class. And then on initialize, I'll load the asteroid bumper. And in the isValidLocation check, I'll find a target y equals chords dot x over 2, and then I'll get the difference is the absolute value of chords y minus target y. And then I'll check if diff is less than 1,000, return true. So this will make them spawn on, and then return false otherwise. So this will make them spawn on an x over 2 slope with a buffer of 1,000 on either side. This might be a little high. I'll try 800. So now in the main class, I can increase the bumper list biome size, and I want it to check the asteroid belt first. So I'll drag that into 0 and then make the first a object and add the default biome there. And then I'm also going to disable the Derp star collision box just so it's easier to demonstrate. So now as we move along, you can see that the asteroids are spawning in a line, and then all the other bumpers are spawning around the rest of the area. So if I restart, so that seems to be working. I'll go ahead and increase the size to 1,000. So I'll set the difference check to 1,000, and then I'll set diff equal diff modulus 10,000. So this will spawn a new asteroid belt every 10,000 pixels. I need to cast diff as an integer. So now, here's the first asteroid belt, and if I keep moving through space, there, it spawned a second asteroid belt above it, and it'll keep generating them as you go. So that's it for this episode of Derp Star. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.